Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live interactive web television. This is your platform where you can engage with us on the various issues that we discuss. Send us your posts, leave your video comments on the various topics we talk about. You can also tweet us at @IndiaPostLive and hashtag IndiaPostLive. Now we're going to talk about the state of the real estate sector of India. Is the real estate industry, is the bubble of the real estate industry finally bursting? The industry took a huge hit in 2013. In fact, according to the IMF, that's the International Monetary Firm, India was the steepest fall that happened in the industry in comparison to 52 markets was India. We are going to take a look at the details of that later. But remember, the BJP-led Modi government has laid a lot of emphasis on urban housing and city development. Yet, there has been no surge in the real estate industry. The Modi government has completed 100 days. Let's find out how the real estate industry is expected to do over the next few months. I will be joined online by two guests, two people, young people who belong to this particular sector and who will give us information about what potential consumers need to watch out for. But first, let's take a look at what the Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP promised in its election manifesto regarding city development and urban housing. Take a look. Coming up on your screens right now, the promises that were made: development of 100 new cities, smart cities they were called, formulating and implementing new land use policy, affordable housing for all by 2022. Okay, these were the major announcements that were made in the election manifesto before the Lok Sabha elections of 2014. Now, even in the union budget this year, like I said, the government laid some emphasis on city development and urban housing. And what was promised in the budget? Let's take a look, coming up on your screens right now. The announcements: affordable housing, allocation of 4,000 crores for low-cost housing schemes in line with BJP's manifesto as we just showed you. Limit on interest payment for housing loans hiked from 1.5 to 2 lakhs. Infrastructure, a total of 37,880 crores allocated towards the NHAI for construction of highways. And we all know that highways are, real estate catalyst. For 2014, a target to complete 8,500 kilometers of national highways. In terms of retail, the country's warehousing sector received a boost. There was an allocation of 5,000 crores. Real Estate Investment Trust. Now, let me tell you what the Real Estate Investment Trust is. It is actually a company that owns and operates income-producing real estates. Clarity on taxation. There was clarity on taxation in the budget. They would be allowed tax pass-through status, which means they would not be subject to tax, provided all criteria for investments and dividend distribution were followed. All right, so now the government, as we just said, has completed 100 days, lots of expectations riding, and today we are specifically talking about urban housing. Now let's find out what exactly has happened in this sector at the end of 100 days. There seems to be little progress on the proposals. There are no concrete proposals on affordable housing. In fact, the plan to build 100 smart cities seems to be in limbo. There is no clarity on what exactly defines a smart city. Cumbersome tax structure, REITs. There is a three-tier tax system which includes the dividend distribution tax, the minimum alternate tax, and the SPV level corporate tax. All right, so these are the realities at the end of 100 days. Now, to give us some more understanding on that, I'm joined online by Gaurav Yadav. Gaurav Yadav is the founder and director of Uday Homes. Gaurav, welcome to IndiaPostLive.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav. Okay, I hope you can hear me. Great.
Yes, you are, but not entirely audible, but I'll try my best.
All right, I'll try and keep my audio levels up. Okay, we'll also try and see what's wrong with your audio. And also Rajiv Dhawan.
Okay.
Rajiv is a consultant with Ethical Group. Rajiv Dhawan, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Voice is cracking.
Okay. There seems to be a network connection problem, one of those technical issues that we will try and sort out. But Rajiv, firstly, we have just been wondering, the real estate sector, as we just said, has taken a huge, a steep fall in 2013. The IMF says it's a terrible fall if you compare it to 52 markets. Why do you think that has happened?
2013, there was election which was expected, and there were a lot of uncertainties which were happening in the market. The recession started, subprime crisis, which started a long time back, has hit it has taken a long time to reach India.
Right.
But when it reached India, so obviously the bubble was there because people were buying at any prices, whichever was available, thinking that it will give returns to them.
Right.
In last few years, there are a lot of users in the market instead of end users. So if everybody wants to make quick money from the market is will come down someday. The corrections would happen. Now that correction has already happened, this is what I feel that this is the best time when a person can enter the market and can expect it. But obviously, horizons have to be kept in mind.
Yeah.
That is one of the gone wrong in 2013. The horizons were always very small for people. There were few people, percentage of people where they invest. They kept their horizons very, very limited. That they want to come out of the investment within 6 months or 1 year. Now everybody not come out. They pull the market down up to an extent.
All right. Gaurav, let me connect to you now. Gaurav, what are your thoughts on this fall? In fact, let me also get you the International Monetary Firm's report while you speak to us. You can see that is coming up on your screens. There has been a huge fall as far as the real estate industry. India has been the steepest fall compared to 52 markets. Why do you think that has happened, Gaurav?
I think one of the major reasons is that there was one of the steepest rises also, if you see across in those 52 among the 52 countries, and especially in northern India, prices were being appreciated every hour. I mean, come on, we are talking about real estate here. Prices cannot be appreciated at an hour. We are not buying vegetables.
Absolutely.
So that was a very unexpected appreciation in the market, and at least in northern India, and to a certain extent in western India as well. In the Mumbai region. So I would say why the prices fell the steepest in India was because I think the market was being corrected, as Rajiv also mentioned. There has been a correction in the market, and now the prices are coming to a stable rate where they ideally should have been.
All right. So finally, finally, you think it's stabilizing now. Obviously, as
hello, you're not audible. I hear you.
Okay. Gaurav, can you hear me now?
Yes, you are. Yes, I can. Okay. Now it's good.
All right, great. Gaurav, like every other sector, there were a lot of expectations even from this sector after the Modi government came in. And like I said, there was a lot of emphasis on these smart cities and all of that. 100 days, where do we stand?
Well, see, there are a few things to it. First and foremost is we are talking about a country, which has about a population of 125 crores.
Yes.
So we cannot expect an overnight change. Let's first of all, before I begin, I would say let's appreciate the fact, that the current government has, put in some at least effort to bring the country in the right direction.
Okay.
Having said that, they are still working on it, I would say in a government's time is I would say it is not more than a 1 day in our individual's life. So definition also. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I was invited by PhD Chamber of Commerce for a real estate conclave, and even there also we were about the what actually So the discussion that came up was that they are still not being able to categorize or parameterize what all points should be there,
right,
under which a city can be called as a smart city.
Smart city.
Right. There were certain, points such as, okay, there could be an option, where it is there, things like in Singapore, where what happens is like, people when they go out on the road to, dump the garbage, there is an automatic machine on the roadside. You just put in your garbage in that machine, it sucks all the garbage, into underground, and it recycles it there and then. So, things like that, or are we talking about that everything will be available on a wireless mode? There will be, public Wi-Fi available. There will be everything available at a click of a mouse. So, they are still contemplating actually what constitutes as a smart city. But they're still working on it, and I'm sure, in that, I would say, in the maximum in a quarter or so, they will come out with a concrete definition, and then
Right.
only they will be able to pick up the cities, how they would like to constitute them under under the smart city tab, as in Singapore they were initially called futuristic city.
Right, right. Okay, Rajiv, let me come across to you now. Just taking off from where Gaurav left, the smart city concept that had been touted about in the manifesto and subsequently in the budget. Now, like Gaurav said, they're still grappling with what is exactly should be the parameters of a smart city. Now, we're aware that obviously Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu is in consultations with corporates, with builders and all of that. But if we take this phenomenon of fall is not limited only to the north of India. Even in Bangalore, even in Mumbai, even in Pune, the cities in terms of housing launches and absorption has taken a huge hit. Now, where do you see this going?
Nilanjana, I think you'll have to repeat yourself. Voice cracked. I could
My
not
voice
hear you.
cracked? Okay. Before, let me just repeat the question. Gaurav, I think, also had a point to make. I was asking you that consultations are on between the Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu with builders and corporates. Now, in terms of clarity of smart cities, in terms of the fact that according to a Knight Frank report, there has been a fall in other cities also, not just NCR, not just the capital region of India. Where do you see things moving from here is what I was asking. Rajiv, let me get your comment, and Gaurav, I'll bring you in. Did you hear me, Rajiv?
Hello.
Okay, I think Rajiv, there's an audio problem with Rajiv. We'll try and get some clarity in the audio. Gaurav, yeah, you had something to say.
Yes, I have actually. Even I also read that report, Frank. I would say, in that I was actually just talking about Delhi NCR. When I said northern India, the rates have fallen down the maximum in Delhi NCR,
Absolutely.
northern India, and also in Mumbai to a certain extent.
Yes.
The steepest fall has been.
Yeah, go ahead. The steepest fall has been in NCR with 43%. Gaurav? All right. We seem to...
I'm sorry, you're not audible. You were saying something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Gaurav, I was just saying that I was agreeing with you.
Hello.
In fact, I was giving you some data. The steepest fall has been with NCR with a fall of 43% in terms of launches. And with Mumbai, it's 36%. In Bangalore, it's 16%. That is in the first half of 2014. So please go on, Gaurav.
Well, what I was saying was I'm not able to, you were not entirely audible, so I'm sorry.
No, please go on with what you were saying, Gaurav.
Yeah, so the point that I was making about, the steep, the in the last few quarters. So as I was talking about northern India, was the reason because there was a unrealistic steep rise in the price hike. But if you talk about southern India, there has actually been an increase in the price hike, and it has also been verified by Knight Frank's report that in southern India the price rose by a good amount. The steepest fall was in Delhi, followed by Mumbai.
Yeah.
Other than that, you talk about the major cities, there has been a price rise actually. So that is what I was saying, and it was more because the southern market was more realistic in nature, unlike northern and western India to a certain extent.
All right, but it is also touted that it will, like you said, of the correction, there will be a correction, and this number, instead of a fall of 36 and 16, it will rise in these two cities, Mumbai and Bangalore, by about 5%. But the overall, if you consider the entire country, overall the fall in the houses launched has been 32%. This is a
Right.
huge number, actually.
It is indeed, and well, you're right. There has been a steep, decline, in the launches, and the first and the foremost reason is that if you take the whole 2013,
Yeah.
there was a policy, that's one. And country was able to new government over.
Right.
It was the first reason that why there was sudden drop in. If you will compare it, if you compare the launches even for the the first half of the current year,
Yeah.
of the current year, you will see that the launches can be on a rise. Right? And if I talk about the market for Northern India, I am in contact with developers, and we have plans to launch there, projects which they had put on the back burner in the last year and a half,
All
because
right.
they were not sure how the economy will shape up, post the the central government elections. So now, since there's a there's a stable government at the center, that's one thing. And now, because there is positive sentiment in the market, not that
Right.
the transactions, not that the real estate transactions have increased yet. No,
Yeah.
there's only been a positive sentiment in the market. So because of that, now we expect that yes, there will be an increase in transactions also around the festival season.
Wonderful. I think that was a very nice analysis that Gaurav gave us. Gaurav, let me just stop you there, because I would like to talk to Rajiv also.
Sure.
He said that people
Sure.
were not sure about where the economy is going. Elections were about to come. They weren't sure of the state of the economy, and hence a lot of projects were put on hold, and which is why the huge number, 32% fall. Okay, Rajiv, let's now move on to something which affects people more. What should people look out for when they buy a property? Now, what happens is, I have heard a lot of people tell me that they are given a particular amount, that okay, you have this a property for X square feet costs Y amount, but ultimately when it comes to taking possession, the amount becomes Y plus 10 lakhs, Y plus 15 lakhs. Why is that, Rajiv?
Whenever a cost is given, whenever builder or the dealers or brokers, when they quote you a particular price, that is always a basic selling price of the unit.
Okay.
They never start that, there will be an EDC, IDC or power bet, or industry maintenance charges, membership.
All right. Rajiv, there seems to be an audio problem. Your voice is breaking, Rajiv.
Okay.
Okay.
What I'm saying here is that, apart from basic selling price, there are additional charges which have to be taken. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes, I can hear you. And on your screens, we are also playing the cost breakup for you, so that people can hear you and take a look at the infographic. Go on, Rajiv.
Yeah. So the after the basic selling price, there is a EDC, IDC, which is external development charge, internal development charge, which
Okay.
is payable to the customer. It is as applicable for various areas. Every area will have a different charge involved in that. Depending on the kind of development work the government will have to carry on in that particular area. Plus, there will be a power backup charge. The KVAs which you take, sometimes people take 18,000 rupees per KV or 20,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there's car parking, then there is club membership charge, interest-free maintenance charges. These are basically, what builder takes to maintain your property at the time of possession.
Right.
The preferential location charges, let's say a house which is club facing, then there will be a charges attached. So the people would want to have a club facing unit. Then there are value added taxes, which is above 50 lakh rupees. If the value of the property, residential properties above 50 lakh rupees, they charge 1%. Plus there are service taxes. Service taxes vary. If the cost of the property is above 1 crore rupees, on the basic selling price, they will charge a 3.708% tax.
All right. All right.
3.09%. And the problem, there's a major problem why the charges increase, escalate over a period of time. When the builders start construction, when the builders do the booking and when they start construction, there is generally a gap of 1 or 2 years because of various clearances have not been received at the time of launch of the project. And when the builder starts construction, they take generally 4.5 years to complete the
Yes.
construction.
Yes.
So by the time the property is given to you, at the time when it was booked, there is generally a gap of
4 to 5 years.
4 years to 6. Yeah,
Right.
4, 6 years, 7 years at times.
Yeah.
Which varies from a builder to builder and location to location. Because of which, the construction cost escalates for the project. Now, the
Absolutely.
builder cannot do away with the escalation in the construction cost. They generally enhance your area. So when a person is looking out to buy a property, they
Yeah.
will have to look out for the previous track record of the builder.
Right.
How much of time they would have taken in the past to deliver a particular project. What were the
Okay.
enhancement charged from a project to a project? So they will know that, if a person is taking use, they should go for a builder with a good track record. For investment purposes, if the builder is and in case he is completing the project, no matter what is the time attached to it, he can go for that project because investment always grows. So the longer you stay invested in a project, your money would grow.
Right. Okay. Let me bring in Gaurav now. Gaurav, so we
I'm
Rajiv
sorry, say that
explained.
again.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, did you? Okay. Rajiv just
Well,
explained.
you're back now. Yes.
Yeah, Rajiv explained, the reasons why there is the, enhancement charges because, the property takes 4 to 6 years for construction. But what are the other, I mean, sometimes the buyer is disgruntled, that we were promised so much, but now we have to pay so much because there's a lot of financial planning involved in this. There are EMIs,
Yes.
there are loans.
Indeed.
So Rajiv again told us that you have to do a background check on the builder. Any other very quick inputs you can give us before we wrap up the show? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. No, I'm totally with Rajiv. Whatever points he has raised, they're absolutely important. To ensure that they are being taken care of before one thinks about investing in a property.
Right.
There's another thing. Try to avoid. One small piece of advice for consumers is try to avoid as much as it's possible. In investing in soft launches or pre-launches because at that point in time, the builder comes with a tentative piece of information, not
Right.
just for the BSP, even the BSP changes. Even the all the taxes and the charges that is being payable by the developer on our behalf to the government, they are pretty much the same. There is not much change on that front. But what happens is first and foremost there is an initial change in the BSP. The other point is the PLCs, the unavoidable PLCs.
Right.
It could be a possible, that if they're just two, for instance, there's a developer, if there are only two flats on an individual floor, of course, they will be on the opposite corner side. There's a developer, which applies a corner PLC, which means, anyone who has a unit at the corner will have to pay a preferential location charge of, let's say, an X amount.
Right.
So that is inevitable, and usually that comes up, during the time of the allotment when the initial payment has been done, some amount of money has already been paid by the customer, and at that point in time, the customer can't do anything but to accept it.
Right.
So besides all that, this is one of the most important reasons. Then try to stay away, from the soft launches if it's possible. Of course, it's a there is high gain, but at the same time, there is also a high risk involved.
All right. Thank you, Gaurav and Rajiv. I think that was a very, very informative chat that we had on the entire state of the real estate in our country. It was great talking to the two of you. Rajiv, thank you so much for joining and for those invaluable inputs that you gave us. I hope that all those of you who are looking to for investment in real estate, in housing, in anywhere in India, I hope you noted all that the two gentlemen told us. You have to do a background check of your builder. You have to be very wary of soft launches and pre-launches, as Gaurav just told us, and bear in mind issues like PLCs, which might suddenly give you a different number than what you had earlier thought of 4 years back. And of course, what both of them also said is that the situation is turning. There were concerns regarding the economy, regarding the growth, and about the fact that elections were coming. But now the situation is turning, and the real estate industry seems to be back on track. Once again, Rajiv and Gaurav, thank you so much for joining us on India Post Live. If you have any feedback, any queries, do write into us, and we'll get you in touch with these two people, and you can ask any questions to them. Your feedback, your experiences in the real estate industry, if you want to share, write into us at indiapostlive.com, tweet us at #IndiaPostLive and @IndiaPostLive. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.